Alrighty. Now, pick your left off before. We're still talking about Black Widow Epic Collection Volume 2, The Coldest War. Like I mentioned, I'm not discussing the Bizarre Avengers or fanfare issues, mainly because of the fact I discussed this already in the. There was actually a standalone trick called Black Widow: The Coldest War, which they collect these issues already, and I think the Coldest War one shot. So, by the way, these issues are written by these fun people: Rob Macchio, Jerry Conway, D.G. Seaster, Jim Starlin, Stefan Rodout, with George Perez, Bob Lane, Booch Goose, Minnie Nell, and Scott Lobdell. Yes, Lobdell. Artwork by George Perez, George Freeman, Larry Storman, Charlie Aldred, Paul Glacy, Paul Layton, Butch Goose, Joe Sariski, Sarah Khalid, I met this guy, Randy Green, and Joe Chadito. Artwork cover is by George Perez, Bob Layton, and cover colors by Dean White. Art by Joe G. Now, this book covers the period of March 1981 and concludes in April of 1988. Now, mostly put these a lot of standalone soloist issues for Black Widow. This is not her appearing in Daredevil or Avenger. This is basically her outside of those books. They bring up the Champions here, which she was part of. Okay, I'll kind of discuss Bizarre Adventures, basically just a solo story for her. It's a Bizarre Adventures, if you're curious about this book. It's a black and white story. It's basically, it doesn't have the comic codes to approval. And it's just an excuse to the black and white issues. Just an excuse to show some nudity. Yeah, there's not really a lot to talk about here. Just infiltrations, a lot of spy stuff. That's most of what this issue is. The Marvel fanfare issues. I've been told the Marvel fanfare issues were simply issues that were simply left Marvel Comics drawer for years. We have this gorgeous panel by George Perez showing how sexy the Black Widow is. Though for some reason, gave her kind of slightly bigger hips than she should have. But yeah, great panel. It's mostly just 4 issues. Here's a cover that was also used for the trade itself. Yep. And like I mentioned, this is only about 4 issues of more fanfare. Wraps up with issue 13. And then basically, like, right after these issues wrap up here. Oh, come on, seriously. Okay, then afterwards she makes a guest appearance in Hawkeye. Yes, Hawkeye's book. And here's her basically doing aerobics. Well, it is this 80s, mind you. This whole book is written and inked by Bob Layton. The artwork is done by the co-plot of this issue, Justin Goose. Most of all, yeah, Black Widow in her 80s. Yes, her 80s outfit. Yes, this was a fun fact. This is her 3rd costume she actually had. And she only wore this in the 1980s. The 90s were around. I think she basically switched costumes in the 90s. Almost like every decade she's got a new costume. The 60s she's fishnet stockings. The 70s is more of her classic like people know it for. The 80s is all gray suit with the spy symbol on her upper breast and her back. And then there's a 90s suit, which I'll get to that. The only thing common with all these suits is her widow sting, basically the gauntlet she wears. As a matter of fact, the suit that Scarlett Johansson wears in the movies is based upon the 70s look for the character, which is for a lot of fans their most favorite costume. Yeah, for Hawkeye's story, she doesn't do very much at all. Not really. It's mostly a backup story. Then we have The Coldest War, a one-shot written by Jerry Conway, artwork by George Freeman, who actually did a one-shot for, I think it was with Trayvon Eden. I saw this one-shot at his table when I met Trayvon Eden years ago at Comic-Con. It was a boxing one-shot. I think it was on... not George Foreman. I think it was based on by Mike Tyson. I think so, yes. So, mostly put, basically, it's a Cold War style issue. It's also her, basically, we see reenaction of herself back in the 70s, meeting with her now ex-husband, the original Guardian. Yeah. Just an absolutely really wonderful one-shot. And this is a solo one-shot, not a team one-shot, a standalone one-shot. Mm-hmm. Then we have Punisher Black Widow The Spinning Web, done by G.G. Schuster and Larry Stroman, the artwork. Most of it's her team with the Punisher just to deal with stuff related to crime. It's okay one shot. Though one thing really good with this book is the artwork. I really enjoy this artwork. Yeah, one thing I really enjoyed about all these one shots is the artwork. Yes, Black Widow has a lot of one shots released this period. Not a solo book. Yeah, we wouldn't see a solo book for her that actually had more than one issue. We wouldn't see that until the late 1990s, which was a series of 2 miniseries where she met her replacement. Yes, Yelena. The one was supposed to replace her, but she didn't. I think she became the White Widow, and she was basically a supporting character in the most recent one for Black Widow. Mm-hmm. Trying to plug this in, say battery power. Yeah, then now, in case you're curious though, was this the only thing that Black Widow punished up? Oh, they've seen him a few times. As a matter of fact, they did a cross between their own slip books, which is done by 10 episodes at that point. Heck, these two did a movie together, teamed up. Because that movie was more of a Black Widow movie than a Punisher movie. Yeah. Next, we have Daredevil Black Widow Arbiter, which is written by Jim Starlin. Yes, Jim Starlin, the creator of Thanos. This most of it has to do with a serial killer. Yeah, and this is more of an adult-oriented book. We have her get chained up in this issue here, and she get sliced up, her basically just below her chest. And Nick Fury is in a lot of these one-shots, mostly just her giving her missions to deal with this stuff. I mean, her job was to take out a serial killer this issue, and she's working with her ex-boyfriend, Daredevil. Yeah, and then at the end of the issue, when the killer, who is a woman, by the way, is defeated, she's like, okay, she beats her, and then basically she ends up getting stabbed by her, and as a thank you for beating her, yep, well, actually I got after stabbing, she proceeds to give Black Widow a smooch. Yes, a smooch before she dies. So, yeah, if you're thinking, yeah, give her a smooch. So basically, Rogue was the first one to kiss her. But yeah, then basically, after this issue wraps up, then we have the issue from Mark Arm Presents, which this is Minnie Newell, artwork by John Swarovski. It's okay, has okay artwork. It's mostly a cop misunderstanding who the heck Like, here's the thing: Black Widow's a known figure. Oh yeah, we also see here where she strips down. Also, for some reason, the artists give her a bit of a white streak in her hair. I'm like, is this supposed to be like an older version of Black Widow? Because all her books basically, she's not basically having this. Afterwards, we have the Daredevil annual, where he reunites with Elektra, which I kind of consider already, so I'll move on from that. Then we have a one-shot teams up with Nick Fury himself. This is done by Cliff Reddott and artwork by Charlie Allard. This, unlike the Mark Hamill Presents issue, this one had much better artwork in my opinion. Yeah, I think his artwork's actually a lot better. It's a bit toned down from other artwork I've seen, but actually it's not that bad. It's mostly her work with Nick Fury for an issue. Like, okay, interesting idea. Yeah, it's more dealing with more spy stuff. Yeah, and then pretty much like right after this. By the way, these one shots are long. These are like about 40 pages a piece, so it takes a while to get these one shots. And then right afterwards, we have the Journey to Mystery issues. This is the issue by Scott Lobdell, and her wearing her fourth and last known costume she actually created. Yes. Now, previously, you see, the numbering comes from the Thor book. Became Journey to Mystery issue 503 after Thor's parent death that came back a little over a year later. The book from issues 503 to 513, that was the Lost God saga. And I think from 5 14 to about 16, it's all Shang-Chi. I believe so. Because I know he had a feature in this book. Because I think it was Shang-Chi next, wasn't it? Because it wasn't Lost Gods. Oh, yeah, it was Shang-Chi, because he was here for 3 issues. Yes, the Master Kung Fu had a book in the 1990s. It was just 3 issues, and that was it. Black Widow was here from 517 to 519. And if you're curious, though, now the book did land to last for 2 more issues. And if you're curious, who was in those last 2 issues? Why Hannibal King for the pages of not Blade, but Tomb Dracula? Yes. It is strange though they gave him basically this book for the last couple issues of the book's existence. Yeah, and most of these issues is basically called Web Intrigue. It's basically just a 3-part story. We have a guy called Art Carter Tinko who's only here just for this 3-parter. Yeah, Lobdell. Yes, Lobdell does basically. It's mostly just the FBI gave her a case for these issues here. There's also this one shot character named Lottie Hunterman who's only here who's only here for 1 issue. Yeah. And then back in issues go Freedom's Light. Yeah, and this organization is only here just for those 3 issues. It's mostly for her trying to shit on this organization, and that's it. Also, she takes out basically her competition. Yeah. Really enjoy these 3 issues for what they are. Yep. And you might think, okay, so what's next after the 3-parter? I think that's it for her. Like, if you're curious, like, what was the next book she read? I think it was Daredevil. Yeah, I think she returned for Daredevil. I think. Let me take a look here about that. And this is after the 3 issues of Journey to Mystery. Yeah, it was the first actually kind of solo feature book she's featured in. They gave her at this point in time. Yes. Because mostly a lot of the time she just guest stars in a lot of people's books. Oh wait, there is also a mini series called Nick Fury / Black Widow Jungle Warfare, which they did not put in this book for some reason. Yeah, they didn't put it in here for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, if you think of something else they should put in the trade, they should put that miniseries in there. I mean, do you think there's enough material for another volume? Yes, I kind of say so. But if you're really curious, what was Black Widow's next physical appearance right after this 3-parter wrapped up? Let's see. Because this is before the events of Onslaught when these just came out. I'm trying to find it here. It's taking a bit of time to find it. Okay, so apparently there was a miniseries of feature. I'm not sure why they included here, but still. Yeah, apparently someone did it illegally. So she mostly just printed other books. So Oh yeah, Nancy Rushman. I think that sounds familiar. Yeah, I'm not really sure what could have been her next appearance. But if you're curious, though, is another epic collection for her? Yes. Me. But mostly put it's in the modern collection stuff for some reason. Yeah, I don't really know why. It's like next book for her is volume 3 for some reason. It just collects her entire fifth volume one book. I'm like, really? Even though there is no miniseries for her, but they said not to include it here for some reason. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm not sure exactly why, but oh, by the way, the Coldest War that was Marvel graphic novel number 61. Black Punisher's Black Widow Doom is Marvel graphic number 74 and 75 is in here as well. Yeah, but that's what those issues are. I'm not really sure exactly why they decided not to include uh, the other miniseries that she had with Nick Fury. It's completely unknown why, but maybe they forgot it exists or something. I have honestly no idea. It could be a variety of reasons why. But I think next she appeared mostly in Thunderbolts, right after this book wrapped up. Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think that's what she did. She mostly just appeared in Thunderbolts, like right after this book wrapped up. Yeah, I'd say I'd see mostly just appear in that book per se. Yep. Um, but I give the book, this book in particular, a 9.5 out of 10. Now you're probably thinking, what book is next? You might ask. Well, if I can get the thing on here. Here we go. Next we have is The Invincible Iron Man, Volume 3, Epic Collection Volume 3, The Man Who Killed Tony Stark. That's our next book here. This book collects issues 2 to 24 of Iron Man, Volume 1. And this book, yes, we're out of the seconds for this one. Yep, so this book covers the period of June 1968 to April 1970. We mostly have art going on the writing here, with George Acosta and Johnny Craig on the artwork. We have George Acosta, Frank Cosilla, and Paul Mortis on the artwork for the cover. The back cover by George Acosta. Issue number 2, just fire a robot named the Demolisher. Yeah, that's most of what this issue is. Just fighting the Demolisher. And then basically issue number 3, Happy Hogan becomes a freak again. Yeah. Not sure why, but that's basically what happened in issue. In issue number 4, and this begins sort of a story arc with issue 4 for about a handful of issues, where we have Return of the Unicorn. Yes, the Return of the Unicorn, who was last seen back, I believe, in the issue of Tales. It was, actually appeared in the pages of X-Men just prior to this book. Yes, he appeared in the issue of 2 issues of X-Men just prior to this book coming out. Yep, and he's here. Well, that can't be right. He's here for more than one issue. Okay, so yeah, so in issue number 4, he just basically deals with the unicorn. In issue number 5, he takes on someone called Cerberus. Lee Pierce is just one issue, just a computer. Yeah, Tony Stark versus a computer. And then issue number 6, he takes on a guy called the Crusher, which this was a returning character who last appeared in Tale of Suspense number 91. Yep, takes him on this issue. There's also a Janice Corden here. Yeah, and she's here until issue 22. Yeah, she's like be here as like Tony Stark's like first regular girlfriend. She's here like as a regular character into issue 22, and then she's brought back, mentioned in issue 76. We also have Vincent Sandhurst. He, of course, also gets killed off in here too. Yep. Yeah, and then issue 6, he battles, and this is quite weird. He battles a character from Daredevil comics. Now you might be thinking, who is he battling? I read this up really soon. Now, who is he battling in issue 7 of this book? Why, he battles a gladiator. Yes, a Daredevil villain. Because why not? I'll find the Maja. And of course, they have Whitney Frost in here as well. And then, of course, it continues to issue number 8. And then issue 9, he fights the Hulk. Because, of course, Hulk pops everywhere. Because Hulk is the strongest there is. Yep. This was, I believe, the first time Hulk ever gets an Iron Man story. Yeah, then we have the Return of the Mandarin. Yep. And he's here for a couple issues. Yep. He's here for 2 straight issues. Yep. The Mandarin. But we're not done yet. Oh, no. And then right after issue number 11, and then we have the debut in issue 12 of my friend Edgar's least favorite Iron Man villain. He hates this villain with a passion. Some people might think appearance-wise he's a ripoff of Thanos. He really isn't. It's the debut of the Controller. Yes, the Controller, whose only ability is he can mind control people. Yeah, that's it. That is literally what this guy frickin' does. And Edgar does not like his villain at all. He describes him as the worst Iron villain in existence. He's here for 2 issues, for issues 12 and 13 for another 2-parter. And then issue number 14 he fights a guy called the Knife Phantom, who is still around this very day. Despite not making many appearances, he appeared in this 1 issue. And then he appeared again to All New Avengers number 7 in 2016. So, he didn't return for almost 50 frickin' years. I mean, then he fights the Unicorn again. And he also fights the frickin' Red Ghost in issue 15. And since he's back here in this book with issue 15, he's here for issue 15 and 16. But, of course, he has to join forces with Iron Man and take on the Red Ghost. Because, of course. 17. Well, we have Whitney Frost got Madame Mask first time. And a guy called Mercer Midas, who's here. You got any influence here? He's here for 3 issues. And that's trying to get to issue 113. Yeah. That's the thing with him. In issue 20, we have more people from Stark Industries make their first appearance. Charlie Gray, Ralph, Tom, and Greg. And in issue 20 takes an X-Men villain. Yes, X-Men villain. Lucifer. No, seriously. Yeah, the guy responsible for robbing Charles Xavier's ability to use his legs. And this was actually his first appearance since X-Men 21. Which the very next issue was when Unicorn showed up. And after this 1 issue, he popped up for 2 issues of Captain America. Why is he here? Who the heck frickin' knows? Yeah, then basically he fights New Crimson Dynamo in issue number 21. A guy by the name of Alexander Nevsky. And he is here. He actually doesn't die for quite a while. He doesn't die until like the 70s. He's actually here from issue 15. He's here for 17 to 22, which they kill off Janice Cord in that issue. And they also have a guy called Eddie Murch who basically poses Iron Man. Now, if you're curious about Eddie Murch is basically kind of like the, basically a guy who worked with Iron Man. He's here from issue 21 to 21, 22, 27. Disappears for a while and then returns to 63 to 69. He appears sporadically. His last known appearance was Iron Man Volume 6, 25. Yeah. Yeah, then basically we have him fighting a guy called the Mercenary for one issue. And then the final issue of this book is him battling two one-shot characters, the Minotaur and Dr. Valkor. Minotaur, just a guy who claiming the Minotaur. He's the son of another character. And he's here for this one issue. And, well, he comes back in, as a corpse in issue 104. Yeah. So kind of a strange way ended with two original characters. Madame Mask, of course, becomes his girlfriend at this point in time, replacing Janice Cord. Whitney Frost, if you're curious still about her. She, by the way, she's not related to Emma Frost. I wonder basically was asked about it. Mostly put, she's here. She skips, after issue 24, she's absent for quite a while. Comes back for a couple issues, becomes a regular character given issue 91. And she's here for quite a while into issue 116. Returns for 200, experienced sporadically afterwards, but she was technically, if you think about it, Tony Stark's second girlfriend he had. And plus, they got a chance to kiss her, which is quite nice. Hey, hot woman. What do you expect? I'm going to give this book a 10 out of 10 because I just really enjoy this book. Yep. So yeah, that's a bit of a clue. I was planning to do a few more comic corners, but I got a stream to do, so maybe later. Okay, next video. Bye.